Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Dr. Prabhakaran, Professor, Tagore Medical College and Hospital, Chennai. We are happy to host the webinar on Streamline Your Dissertation Writing Process with Microsoft Word. So we all know Microsoft Word is most commonly used Microsoft Office programs in the world. But when it comes to our PG life, apart from Excel, Word is also commonly used because Excel is mainly used for data collection and analysis and putting some diagrams and tables and all. But Word is the most vital one. At the end stage, we wanted to use Microsoft Word for processing all the documents and setting up for final presentations as a dissertation book. So most of us find difficulty in organizing each sections, putting page number, references, and making prints of the book. But most of us use no separate section that we will make it for the whole dissertation. Introduction separate file we will make, review of literature separately. Like that, we'll make separate and separate page number we will keep, and the references also will be the issue for us in that case. So when it take printout, we also take a printout separately and make it in a hard bind book. But when you make in a soft copy, when you upload in the university website, then we will make a problems. Again, make it PDF, then PDF merger that we will use. So kind of problems that we face our day-to-day life in community medicine. I mean, all our departments. So in this regard, we wanted to conduct a webinar on how to effectively use Microsoft Word individually. So for that, we requested National Institute of Epidemiology (ICMR) to support us, our PGs, to have a session to how to use the Microsoft Word effectively. So for that, we have yeah. Sorry for the network interruption. For that, we have two speakers with us. One is Mr. Santakumar. He's a scientist. He is in charge for HIV surveillance and estimation division. He is MPhil from Bharathidasan University. He is holding 65 publication in the Index Journal. The speaker for the program is Dr. Malati Madhyalagan. She is PhD from Nanyang Technical University, Singapore. She is a scientist in HIV division of National Institute of Epidemiology. I welcome the speaker and all the delegates who have joined for this meeting. So we can directly go to the session as the time is less. I invite Dr. Maladi to take over the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. Can we start this session right away?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please.
Okay. So I'll share my screen. Can I know if my screen is visible, the presentation?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes, now it's visible.
Okay. So, good afternoon, all. I'm Dr. Malti Mathiyaragan from ICMR NIE, working under the NACO project here. So, before we start any thesis writing or dissertation writing, it is important to know what goes into your Word document. So I just referenced some of the TNMGR's format, and I found this format, the sequence of how your thesis has to be arranged. So it starts with your cover page and the title page, and a bona fide certificate from your supervisor or co-supervisor, which states that this is the original work of the person who have submitted the thesis. And again, a self-declaration of the candidate, a plagiarism certificate, which shows what percentage of plagiarism has been detected using the plagiarism software of your university. An acknowledgement. Acknowledgement covers uh, a statement from the candidate whom the person has to thank or acknowledge for as contributors. And next comes the table of contents, which is an overview of what your thesis is all about, and a list of tables, figures, abbreviations, and annexures. And in annexures, you can include all your questionnaires, the informed consent, and all.
Mayra, కరెంటే లేదు కరెంట్
Okay. So, can I request everyone to be on mute? Just verify if your mic is on mute. Okay. So next comes the abstract or synopsis of your dissertation work, which is like the overview of your the entire chapters. So I do not know if this abstract or synopsis is mandatory for dissertation, but uh, this could be an optional here. And next comes the chapter. Chapter is what you have as introduction, your materials and method, results and discussion. So all these comes under and your review of literature, of course. All these are separate chapters in your thesis. So chapter is where the actual word count or and the page count of your thesis starts. So the rest, whatever we have discussed earlier, or just the part of the thesis. And uh, at the end of the chapters, we'll add our reference list. Mostly Vancouver referencing style or Harvard referencing style is followed, and just make sure whichever style the university follows before adding the references, and followed by the annexures, and if you have any publications, the list of publications, if any. So the general formatting guidelines is that how you set your page margins, the font style, and the line spacing, and make sure the text is all justified. So this is what we follow. So I'll just before we start the thesis writing or the dissertation writing, I would recommend to add a new folder and put all your documents related to the thesis in a separate folder. So I've already created a folder here, and this was the thesis that was sent for me to show. So this is a thesis which has not been formatted yet. So the first I would uh, set the page margin. So the layout, margins, and we generally choose normal, or if you have any custom setting according to your university guidelines, then we can make the custom settings. So top and bottom, generally the top is more than the bottom, and the left is even more because of the binding. So we generally have 3.5 centimeters towards the right, left, and the right could be 2.5 centimeters, because while after binding your hard copies, they will cut the papers, so you might lose some here. So after setting, make the entire, select your entire thesis, make the text justified, and set your line spacing here. It could be 1.5 or 2, depending on the guidelines. So clear till now? Okay. So the next thing is your spell check. So make sure that all your spellings are all correct, and you may change according to the spell check and grammar check. And here, okay. So I'm not going into the details of it. Like you just have to verify that your thesis is error proof. So proofread your thesis before anything else is done, and then we'll start with the formatting. So the first thing is the title. So I think this will come in the title page. This doesn't come in the chapter page. So this would come in the title page. And if you want to add a title page, go to insert, cover page. You can choose any of the style, or you can just format it according to your university guidelines. So I'm just taking this off, adding it here. So this will be my title. Okay. So I'll just show you how to add all your headings first, and then we will start adding the table of contents. So go to the home tab, and here we could see on the top of your home tab, we have so many styles here, like the heading 1, heading 2. And as I select each, everything gets changed. Like if you, I'm having my cursor at the introduction, and if I select one of the heading here, the font style changes. So we can have our introduction as heading 1. So once I make my introduction as heading 1, you can see here at your left side of the page, a navigation pane opens up, and we have our introduction displayed here, the headings displayed here. And so this is how you add your uh, headings to the navigation pane. So as we make the changes, we could see that the headings get added here. So now I do not want this to be in blue color. I do not want this to be in all caps, or how do you change? Or I do not want this font. I want it as in a different font, different color, different size. We do have provisions to take care of that. So first, how do you change? This is okay. This is just a single word. But if you have, like in this case, like the entire title in caps, and you do not want this in all caps, how do you change this? So here we have this, make it as a sentence case, or make it as capitalize each word, and this is how we change. And now I have formatted this introduction to heading 1. And how do I modify the font and color of this? Go back to your heading 1 on the top, right click and select modify. And you can make these changes only in this document, or you can make changes to all documents based on the style. For now, I'm keeping this change only on this document. So the heading is the title, for heading 1, here you have this formatting options. You can select the text here, the size of the text that you need, the color, and if you want it as in bold, you can change it here. And okay. So now my heading has been changed to Times New Roman 18. Okay. So all the formatting what we have done there has reflected here. Okay. So, and how do I number this chapter? The headings that comes next. So, but till now, is it clear? Can I proceed to the numbering? Okay.
Yes, madam. Please go ahead.
Okay. So now I just want to add the numbers. So again, we'll go to the paragraph section of our home menu. Here we have the numbers and the bullets list. So I'm going to choose this multi-level numbering here. I'm going to choose this because this is what we generally take 1, and the second level of heading will have 1.1, and the third level of heading will have 1.1.1. So this is the general format we follow. So I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to define the numbers list. So here what you can do is you can set where your numbers start from. So you can see that this heading is aligned at 0 centimeter, which means at the start of your margin. And you can also choose your font again according to your format. The font, since we have a heading in bold, I'm choosing this as bold, and since the font number is 18 for the heading, I'm using the same for the heading. Now I'm going to choose the same list for our second heading, but this is not the second chapter. This is a subheading, the first division heading. So I'm going to change the level of this uh, heading. So I'm going to the multi-level list. I'm going to change the list level to 1.1. So automatically the number is 1.1 here. And again, if I want to change the font and colors of these heading, I can go here to heading 2, modify, click OK. So this has been changed. Now the number is in different colors, so I'm going to do the modification here. Here, this heading is aligned at 0.63 centimeter. If I want, I can change this to 0 centimeter, and the text could start at 1 centimeter. Font, I'm choosing the same font as the headings. So yeah. So now earlier this was a bit away from 1. Now I have changed this. The 1 and 1.1 are aligned at the same level. If I do not want that, I can change the alignment here. That happens, this one goes a bit towards the right. So this is how I can number all the uh, headings. This is again. So if you change the list level, okay. So for some reason, okay, so it was 1.1 again. So if you choose continue numbering, the number will change to 1.2 because we have already given a 1.1 here. And I suppose this is the third subheading. I'm going to change the number list as, I choose the numbering first and then change the level to the third heading list. So we have this is the first division heading and this is the subdivision heading. So it is 1.2.1. So this is how we go about numbering. So as we add, we can also see that. So make it a heading first and then add the numbering. So that the numbers get, it gets shown on the navigation pane as well. So this is how we go about numbering the entire document. So I have already done for a document, and this is how your navigation pane looks. So once you number the entire document, so all your headings chapter wise is going to be here. Clear till now? If yes, I'll move on to the referencing part. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to add references in the Word document itself. So first, I was given this, in this thesis copy, we could see all the references added here. So what I would recommend is have a separate Word document for all your references. So I have prepared one. So this is, so copy all your references in a separate Word document. And make sure that this is in the format that is uh, recommended by the university. So now how do you know if this is in the correct format? For that, what we do is we select one of the references. So we select just one reference. If your Google Scholar, copy paste this, search for the references, and you find this option size. If you choose that, you can have, you can see a number of formats here, like MLA, TE, Harvard, and one. If you're interested in this format, so copy this, add to your references document. Okay. So once you have prepared a list of all your references, you can go back to your original document to start adding the reference. So this is the document we were working on earlier. I'm going to add references here. So here is our first reference. I'm going to add the reference here. So place your cursor wherever you want to add the reference, and you have this reference menu here. Click on it. Here we will see insert citation and add new source. So before we do this, make sure that you copy the reference that has to be added. I'm going to copy this reference, go back to the document, insert citation, add new source. So I'm going to place it here. And once this is done, I'm going to fill all the fields. The The reason why I told you to copy the reference beforehand is that once this dialog box is open, you can switch back to the other documents. So I'm going to add this for now. And I've already added this reference and I need to edit this for the page numbers and other year and all that. So I'm going to manage sources, select and edit it. The year is 2024, volume is 24. The number before the bracket is your volume number. The number within the brackets is your issue number. And the number that follows the colon after the issue number is your page number. So make sure that your type of source is journal article here. So now we have added this and we have added the reference here. So this is how we add the reference and the style. Okay, before we add the citation, we have to choose the style here. If it is Harvard, your reference will show us the author name, the first author name followed by the year. And if it is IEEE, it will be numbers within square bracket. And if it is the ISO 690, it will be numbers within brackets. So I don't think we'll be using anything more than this, but there are like different styles you can just explore. The generally used one is square brackets or the normal brackets. So and if you have to add multiple references in one source, so you have to do that. So again, we'll go back to this reference list. We already have one reference. I'm going to add this reference here. Insert citation, add new source. So now I have to add one more reference here. So what I do is I place my cursor next to the number that I have added just now, and then I add another reference. So now we can have two references in the same source. And suppose I do not have, I mean, like while you're writing, you haven't done your reference list yet, but you know which paper has to come there as a reference through your lit review or something like that. What you can do is you can go to insert citation, add new placeholder, and you can just have some reference to that paper, like your first author or the, a protocol or something like that. So now I just have it as a protocol and then the year, whatever. And this placeholder the place name has to be done without any, uh, without any spaces in between. So I'm going to add this and later you can go back to this reference here and then you can edit the source. You can have the author name, title, and all that. And then you can edit it so that you have a reference number here again. So this is how referencing is done. And suppose if you have left out some information, like for example, if you want to edit the citation, you just have to add the page number. You can add it here. Or sorry, I think we already have a page number here. Or you can just go back to the reference and add it as can edit the page numbers here, or here if you just have to refer to one particular page, you can just add the page number here. So this is all about referencing, and now you have to add your bibliography. Just deleting it here. So once all your references are added, we can add the reference here. Your whatever style you have chosen, you can just add bibliography. Or if you want this as references, you can add reference. So whatever references we have added so far will be shown here. And sometimes we do not have a Vancouver style here. And this is not the Vancouver style. This is the Vancouver style that we generally follow, like where the last name followed by the initials, the author. This is the Vancouver style. So in that case, you might add your references separately. Or there's a one another referencing software or the method that I generally use is Zotero. You can explore Zotero as well. This is much more simpler. So I'll show you how I do it in Zotero. So in Zotero, I just give the DOI number or some identifier of the document, and it comes into the folder. And once we add the references, we can just select any of the references and add. So this is also one of the reference manager that could be used. So you can explore these options as well. This is not in your Word document, but this is like an add-on or plugin that you can explore. So we are done with the referencing part. And if you have some pictures, how do you generate your list of tables or list of figures? That's what we are going to show now. Again, we'll go back to the references, but before that, I'll just add a picture. So suppose I have a figure here. Now I just have to give a caption for this figure. Go back to references. Here we have an option, insert caption. Earlier we used this option, insert citation, but now we are going to this insert caption. So the figure label is already generated. So this is a figure. So we have like three different options. One is equation. Sometime you might have to show up the equation of your sample calculation and all that. And the other one is your figures. The other one is your table. So now we are using figure, and then the numbering. You can either choose to include your chapter numbers. In that case, it will start as 1, 1, or you can just have a continuous numbering of your figures. If I ignore this chapter number, it will be figure 1 earlier, and if I choose my chapter number, it will be 1 and chapter 1 and figure 1. And then you can add your figure caption. You can change your time here. So now we have added a figure and the figure caption. Now I'm going to add a table. I'm going to add the caption for the head table as well. So I go back to the references, insert caption. I'm going to choose table here, and then I'm going to give a caption for the table. Okay. So now the entire formatting has been done. So we have numbered all the headings and we have added the caption for all our figures and caption for the tables. And now we have to prepare the table of contents. So I go back here to the first page. I insert a blank page here. And then go back to the references menu, and we have this table of contents here. So you can choose any one of the automatic tables. I'm going with this. So whatever heading we have added, it gets updated along with the page number. Now I want to add my list of figures. So here again in the references uh, menu, we have this insert table of figures. I select this. I want my figures first. So I choose this caption label as figure. So whichever caption label starts with figure, has the caption label as figure, all your figures get updated. So now I want to add my list of tables. So again, I go back to the insert table of figures. Now I select my caption label as table and then click OK. And suppose, okay, I've added this. Now we could see that the figure is in page. Okay, and add my page number as well. So now you could see that whatever figure we have added is in page 3. I'm going to adjust. Now the figure has gone to page 4. Here, this is still page 3. So what I do now is go back to references and give update table. Last, whether I need to update my page numbers only or update the entire table. If it is just page numbers, we can go for this. But if you have made some changes in the caption or something, it's always better to use update entire table. So now the page number has changed to 4. Again here in my contents table also, if I give update table, the page numbers would have changed. So this is how the entire thesis formatting is done. I'm done with my presentation. So any questions?
Yeah, it's well explained. If we want to add multiple sections, like introduction is over, then objective, review of literature, results, and all. No? So if we add all these pages, no, how the
Yeah.
figures, no, already we added in the different section to be there in the
Okay.
respective section.
Okay. So I think her question is when we add more chapters. So I've just prepared one model
Yes.
document with two different chapters. So this is chapter two. Okay. So now before I move on to addressing the question, so I'll just show you how the other. So suppose say the second chapter is lit review, and this is third chapter. So the number automatically gets changed, and if not, we can still change by selecting the option. So once we select here, we can go to the list level and once we select the level of heading, the numbering here will change. So now the question was, how do I change the figures for each chapter? I'm going to add the figure in each chapter. So this is figure one, and this is a different, let's suppose that this is a different figure in a different chapter. So I'm going to add two different captions here. It, uh, okay, so this will be my, first I'm going to add the caption. So this is going to be my figure. And here, as I mentioned, it depends on the numbering, whether you want the numbers to be continuous for all your figures from chapter 1 till chapter 5 or 6, whether all the figures have to be numbered continuously or whether the figures have to be numbered chapter wise. So for chapter wise, go to this numbering. So insert caption, we have a caption here. Select which type of label it is. So this is a figure. So here we can see that it's figure 1.1, which means this this is
கிளாஸ் நடக்கும் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி எல்லாத்தையும் திறந்து வச்சு உங்க டேப் எல்லாம் கீழே விழுந்துரும்.
okay. So this is the first figure in my first chapter. So I can select that option from this numbering tab. So here I can choose to include my chapter number or I can ignore this. In this case, if I don't include my chapter number, it will be figure 1. So in this case, my figures will be continuously numbered. Since the question was how to have it with chapter numbers, I'm going to go with this and then I'm going to add the caption. Now this is my figure in the next chapter. So I'm going to insert caption here. I can then change the separator. I think we just need to change the chapter head. Um, can I like get back in some time because I think there's some issue with the numbering
Yeah,
in this
yeah,
document. I'll just
it's,
try it with other documents.
it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. It's just for
Stop.
curiosity I asked.
Yeah.
So we can move to the page number customization. We shall have,
No, no.
suppose if you,
Okay. It has come. So this has changed to 2.1. Sorry. So that's what. So once you have your heading here, I mean numbers in your chapter here. So it's level head. This is the heading one of my chapter, and then the chapter number is 2. So once I have that, the figure caption item, I'll just zoom it a bit. The figure caption changes to 2.1. Okay, and yeah, I can add the. So this is how it goes chapter wise. But if I choose to ignore the caption, like ignore the chapter heading, I mean the chapter numbers, it will be a continuous numbering for each chapter. Is that clear, or should I just show you once more? So here we have the figure is 1.1, whereas in the second chapter, the figure caption starts from 2.1. And to get this, we just have to add uh, the chapter number in the while giving the option. Sir, I hope that is clear.
yes, yes.
Any other question?
Uh, Can you elaborate a little about the page numbering also? Suppose if you want to put a content in the beginning, so is there
Okay.
any way to hyperlink all the chapter wise over there?
I was trying to find out that, but earlier, but I was not able to do it. But I have done it for my own thesis. There was a question on adding page numbers to the document, and we'll see how to do that. So first, we insert, go to insert, and select where your page number, the position of your page number, and add the page numbers. What we could see here is page number starts from your title page and the page number of your title page is 0. And if you do not want to see this, go to the design menu on the header and footer tools and then select different first page. So by default, the page numbers will start from the page that follows the title page. So now I want to start my page numbers from my chapter 1. Now we could see that the first chapter, that is the introduction chapter, starts at page number 3, but I want to have this page number as 1. What do I do? For that, we introduce section breaks, and if you look at the bottom left corner, you could see that I am in section 1. So I'll go back to my table of contents page, so wherever it ends, so my list of tables ends here. So here I have my cursor here, and then I introduce a section break. How do I do that? Go to go to layout and select breaks, select next page. So this would indicate that I add a section break. Now if I select this page, you could say I'm in section 1 here, and if I select this page, I am in section 2. So now what I do is, this is my chapter. So you could see that the page number restarts from 0 here. So this would be 0 and 1 and so on. So now I want to format the inserted page numbers. So I go back to page number, format page number, and I start at 1. So that, and I also I select the footer section and I format the page number. It starts at 1. Okay, but I am not able to see 1 here. So for that, I just uncheck this different first page option, so that my chapter 1 starts at page number 1. And now what do I do about the previous pages? So I select these again, go to format page numbers, and then select another format. Generally we start at Roman numerals, so I give this Roman numerals here. Okay, so this is how we do. And if we look at this, all the inclusions or the annexures that comes before my chapters have Roman numerals from starting from 1 to Roman numerals starting from 1, and my chapter starts from Roman numerals 1. And now here we could also see that I've added the list of tables and list of figures on the same page. Now I want to move this list of tables to the next page. So again what I do is I just introduce another section break. So this will automatically move to the next page, and we do not see a page number here. For this, go back to insert page number. I select the page number and then I format the page number and I continue from the previous section, so that So if it is start, it shows 1. And if I'm going to continue from the previous session, it will be 3. So now we have the title page, we have the table of contents page, we have the list of figures page, and we have the list of tables page, followed by your chapters, and the chapter numbering starts from 1.
So in this, the references is there at the end, right? In this document or in the
Yes.
separate document it is there.
No. Here we have added, but this may not be according to the. I mean, at times the references may not be according to the recommended style. For example, we do not have this Vancouver style in the Word document. So if the university prefers a Vancouver style of referencing, then I do not know about the latest version of the Word, but whatever I'm using now doesn't have a Vancouver style. So in that case, I generally, like I said, I'll just have a reference list separately and I'll just add it at the end of the document. But I still want to add, add this bibliography because I just wanted to know if the list that I prepared correlates with the reference list, the order, the numbering.
Yeah, can we make references as a separate chapter here? Because it's already in a customized manner. Can we make references as a separate chapter in this document itself?
Yes, you can do that. You just have to move it down and move it as a chapter. Add a chapter. But I don't think if references are added as a chapter. Like wherever you just want to add your bibliography, like if it is on a new page,
Yes.
you can just add here, or you can just go to a new page and then insert your bibliography. Just insert it. Wherever you want that to be added, whether in a new page or as a continuous one, you can just put your cursor and then insert bibliography.
So my final doubt is I want to convert this as a PDF.
PDF, yeah. I was anyways about to do that. But
Yes,
before
yes.
I go on to that, the reason why we do this is you click on this control, the hand tool is there, and then we click, it goes back to that particular heading. So that is why we add this, that we can just have a quick view of our contents, and we can do the same thing by choosing the needed heading in the uh, navigation page. I'm just going to convert the document into a PDF. So file, export, PDF, and you give a name and then publish. So once we do that, again here, we can go to the chapter that we need. And some may even want to add margins as well. So even that is possible. Page borders. So it is in design, you can add page borders. You get a page border for all pages. Any other questions? And this is how, once you do that and convert your PDF, so I'm going to add the page border again. Go to design menu, at the left top or top right corner, you'll have this page border. Select the type of page border, add, again, export PDF. Publish. Now, the entire document looks like this. Any other questions, sir?
Um, yeah, not from me. I'm just checking the chat box, like, or any participants, do you have any doubt, you can also ask. Um, can you please show how is the style of Vancouver style? Can you please repeat? So it's already described. Can you please tell us where we can find instruction like this for this is maybe YouTube or website? I don't think, but you can explore it. Do you have any, do you suggest any such kind of web resources, Dr. Malathi?
Sorry, I didn't get the question, sir. I'll
So,
stop sharing and I'll just go back to the chat box myself.
okay, sure.
Okay. Instruction like this for thesis, meaning the guidelines, is it? Uh, so this was, I mean, I just searched in Google and I found this document, PhD Regulation 2016 from Dr. MGR University, and it that is where the format of the thesis and the declaration was given. I do not know if this is the latest, or I could only find 2016 guidelines, and that too for PhD thesis. So
No,
I
no,
can,
no. I think the participant is asking about these steps. Is there any uh, uh, norms or
yeah,
like
okay. If it
shortcuts?
is only with MS Word, the MS Word Help Center itself has uh, answers or help text, how to add references and all that. But they also have videos. They can use Microsoft Help, or there are other many number of YouTube videos which shows how to add references, how to add the heading and all that.
Right. Sure. So another question is like, do we have instruction for number of
Number of
pages
pages.
for
Yeah,
moving it
again,
to section
I think
introduction? Yeah,
it's very university
again
specific.
PhD.
Yeah, it's university specific, and they might have to
Yes.
contact their admin regarding that.
Right. So is there any way to check the number of no word count in the word chapter
Yeah.
wise?
Chapter wise, yes. Uh, so if I want to know what is the word count, so here on the left bottom of the screen, we could see how many words the entire document has. Sorry, I'm just sharing again. So if I go to my Word document here in the left bottom, we'll see how many words my entire document has. It's around 2,300 something. But this also accounts for the bibliographic part. So if I want to do it chapter wise, I just select my chapter till the end of the chapter, and this shows how many words my first chapter has. If I click on this, at times we might, I mean, this not for the thesis, but at times we may have a word limit for the uh, abstract or something. We can check here. So here it will give you. So the entire document has 2000 odd words, and whatever part I have selected has some 950 words. Anything else, sir?
Um, Anything else, participants?
Ma'am, a maximum how much words should be there for introduction, ma'am?
I don't think they have any specified word count chapter wise. It's just for the old document, I guess. So, but the thumb rule is that keep the introduction very crisp and end it with your objectives. Like some 3-4 pages of introduction should be sufficient. So suppose if
Ma'am,
your word count is
how?
like, yeah.
Yeah, continue, ma'am. Continue, ma'am.
So yeah, suppose if your word count is around, I'm not sure on the word limit, say 30,000 for the entire document or something, or let's have it as 5,000. So I would have, and I have like 5 chapters. So, I mean, roughly 1,000 words for each chapter. And at times, your materials and methods may have more number of words, and your results and discussion may need more number of words. In that case, just shorten your introduction accordingly to adjust for the entire word count.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, next another doubt is how we will write the review of literature, ma'am. For proposals, we used to write about that starting name, author, et al, and the study conducted, all those things. But we have to write if the in this part, introduction part, I have written that bottle feeding. We have to write small introduction for bottle feeding, and then we have to continue the review of literature, or we can start writing by like that. Comments on a review of literature, ma'am, please.
Okay, so generally, uh, what I do while preparing my review of literature is that, or while I kind of refer materials, is that I prepare an Excel table. So, an Excel table which has the author's name, the title of the literature, and the key findings. And in case of public health related studies, I might need more details like sample size and key findings. So this is a generic table that I prepare, and my review of literature will be based on those table. And if you have already given a brief on a very detailed uh, uh, summary of whatever your uh, content is in the introduction, I would suggest not to repeat the same in your review of literature. I would want to have a very brief mention of it and then continue with the literature review. I mean, just for the flow of
Oh,
content, just for the flow of content, you
okay,
can just have a very brief introduction on what you're talking about, and then you can have your
okay, ma'am.
literature review continued.
Review. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think no more questions from the chat and from the participants. Um, so I thank ICMR NAE, especially Dr. Malati Madhyalagan and Santakumar Haridas for accepting to take the session in a short notice and taken the session in a good manner. Hope all our participants have understood the concept of using Microsoft Word for dissertation. So, if you have any doubts, you can uh, write in the chat box, or you can refer our YouTube channel for discussions and the recordings. So, thank you everyone for joining us today. So, we'll meet you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.